What's going on, guys? K-Pide here and welcome back. And in this video, I'll be featuring what might just be one of the new strongest cores in the Great League, Jellicent and Licky. Not only do they have the patented ghost type and normal type pairing, but Licky uses rollout as its fast move, which allows it to hit for super effective against the flyers that Jellicent would struggle against, such as normals and Galarian Moltres. If you've noticed, this team is very similar to one I've already featured during Great League's Holiday Cup, and that's because this core puts in work. For the closer, you really put in whatever you want, as long as it's has solid flyer and decent dark coverage. For me, of course, I had to go with Shadow Walrein. Now these battles were recorded during the last time the Great League was around, which is why the level might seem a little bit off. But anyways, I'll be showing a nice 9-1 run I had with the team. And with that, let's get right into the battles. Alright, getting into the first battle, we lead Jellicent into Morpeko. Atrocious lead for us. We're going to save swap into that Licky, and we're going to fire off the Body Slam right away. This way, if my opponent wants to chip with an Aura Wheel and then dip, they will get caught into a CMP tie, which desyncs the switch clock, as well as guarantees either a shield, which they probably won't, and more likely, some nice damage to the Morpeko. Here, I do get the Body Slam damage on the Morpeko. My opponent takes out the Licky, and that's perfectly fine because now with how low this Morpeko is, I can deal with it perfectly fine in case it gets on the Jellicent. I go in Shadow Walrein, try and get the Powder Snow down. Opponent realizes I would get there, so they do end up pivoting out into a Corviknight. And now we're going to just start spamming off these Icicle Spears. First one lands, second one does reach a shield. Opponent's loading up, they're firing off the charge move before my next Icicle Spear, which I do give up a shield on it, ends up being an Air Cutter bait. A little unfortunate, but that is all right, because we will be able to force the final shield or take out the Corviknight with the Icicle Spear. We force the final shield, and that's perfectly fine. I'm cool letting it go, because I know at this point, up a shield, as long as it's not one of those like pesky normal types, like an imposing Licky, Jellicent will be able to win this matchup, where it is a Clefable, so we're good to go. Because I can just land one Surf and then another Surf. I wasn't sure if a single Shadow Ball would KO, and then I'd most likely need two moves. So I went the safer route, went for the double Surf, KO the Clefable, come in Jellicent here. And here I can't shield this because I know that the Morpeko has a move. So that's what I'm saving my shield for. We tank the Hair Cutter, get to the Surf. Do we survive a Thunder Shock? We do on 1 HP and get the Hex down. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Talonflame. Fantastic lead for pretty much this whole team to see what my opponent wants to do. They're going to stay in, get 2 Incinerates worth of energy, and then swap into a Lickitung. Lickitung, you know, been a while since I've seen one of these, but we're going to come in with our own Licky just on the off chance that the Lickitung is running Power Whip. But since they went for the Wrap, it looks like they're potentially on Body Slam and Wrap, or they could be on Wrap and Power Whip. So I'm going to come in Licky and just spam off these Body Slams, especially since the Licks are double resisted here. They go for yet another Wrap, but it's not before I get to another Body Slam, which does some nice damage, and one more final parting Body Slam, and this will be enough to take out the Licky, which my opponent decides to give up a shield for, and they overfarm, and then they end up catching the next Body Slam onto the Nidoqueen. But this is perfectly fine because I have the Walrein for this. And if my opponent stayed in through that Wrap there, I would have let it go and saved the shield for Walrein, because I would have been able to get a nice Powder Snow down and up a shield and up energy. We all know what Walrein's capable of. Here they land the Poison Fang. I let it go because I know I can tank it and reach this Icicle Spear against the Talon. We're also, in this situation, saving shields for the Jellicent is going to be our win condition. Or I can just come in Licky here, force them to throw with the massive rollout damage. And since I know that that last rollout went through, Talonflame will go down, leave with the Body Slam stored for the Licky, and that is all she wrote. GG's to my opponent. Battle, Jellicent into Shadow Charizard. Fantastic lead for us again. My opponent is staying in, which is very nice, so I'm just going to continue to overfarm here to watch for potential catch, as well as throwing good timing. They go for a Blast Burn. So there we go, watching for the catch. They come in with Lapras to try and catch the Surf, but we're able to hang on to our energy, land the Shadow Ball, and then come in with Licky here. Here I'm over farming. I knew that one Body Slam would not KO from that range, so I want to get as much energy as I can, where I'm going to maximize my energy, fire off this Body Slam before they reach their second Sparkling Aria. My opponent lets it go. In comes Swampert, and now we just get to spam off these Body Slams. One Body Slam here, one more rollout, and then another Body Slam, where at that point, my opponent realizes, with the Jellicent still in play, that they will not be able to win. So they can see GG's. Next battle, Diggersby Lead. Fantastic lead for us if they're on Quick Attack, but this Diggersby is on Mud Shot. What the spice? Oh my gosh. They land the Scorching Sands, and now as you'll see, my Jellicent's basically already at half HP. So what a spicy moveset. Honestly, Mud Shot on Diggersby is significantly worse than Quick Attack, but it's helping them out in this matchup. But the good news is I'm using a very high ranked Jellicent, so I will be able to survive 2 Scorching Sands and reach yet another Surf here, which my opponent shields, and they end up going down 2 shields in this matchup. So I'm fine pivoting my Walrein here, giving up a shields to the Sands, over farming and playing to the CMP tie if they stay in. But in comes Ninetales, and I make a mistake here. I go for the Earthquake against the A9, hoping that the Earthquake plus Powder Snows will be able to farm them down in time. But as you'll notice, I'm not able to. So the better play here would have been to go for the double Icicle Spears. And that's why when you're looking for a good team and you're trying to make a solid legend push in a lot of situations, that you stick with a team, you learn its ins and outs. So in these situations like this, you know what to do the next time that they do come up. Here, my opponent makes a nice catch of the Earthquake onto their Diggersby, but that's fine. We're going to take it out, and Licky will do fine here, unless Walrein hangs on from the farm down, gets to an Earthquake, one-shots the Lantern, and a clutch 1 HP survive there for the Shadow Walrus. GG's. Next battle, Shadow Scizor. Great lead for us, as we are resisting these bullet punches. Always making sure to over farm on good timing. It is very important. Here, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to call us the Night Slash, which we do. And even if it's the Trailblaze, it's fine because we will be able to get this move off. Surf does pull the first shield from my opponent. Now we're going to stay in, fire off the next Surf, which will pull the second shield from my opponent. And now we don't want to give up a farm down, so we're going to pivot into Licky and just soak all this energy onto it. They go for a Night Slash, and if they stay in, which they do, and get the boost, little unfortunate there. These bullet punches are now going to hurt, but fortunately, there's not much left of this Scizor, as we do land the Body Slam, give up our next shield to the Night Slash, farm it down, and now Licky with energy. Going to see what my opponent wants to do. They bring in a Furret, so we're going to fire off this Body Slam, and then pivot into the Shadow Walrein, because we don't want to get too far behind on energy, especially because of the Trailblazes. So we will shield the first Trailblaze, fire off this Icicle Spear before their Swift. That plus one more Powder Snow will do the job, and they have an Altaria in the back, so Walrein poised to sweep this endgame here, gets the Icicle Spear, and that would take out an entire family of Altaria as down it goes. GG's. And as you'll see there, got a nice little 5-0 set for the ELO reveal, as we're going to hop into the next set, of which I unfortunately forgot to record right at the start. So we're joining it a little bit late, where the lead was Jellicent into Gourgeist. I do end up getting both shields from the Gourgeist while only giving up one of my own shields in return. Pivot into Licky, and now they dip into a Gastrodon. So Gastrodon does land a Water Pulse. I was hoping to survive that, but the Water Pulse does just take us out. We come in Jellicent, get a bunch of Hex worth of energy before firing off the Surf, and then sniping down the Gastrodon with the Powder Snow. They have a Drapion in the back, and this is going to be a good game, because we can just land this Icicle Spear here. Does massive damage to the Drapion. Let this crunch go, because we will survive it. Get a nice Powder Snow down of the Drapion, and we can save our shield for Jellicent to close out the match here. We'll see Gourgeist will take us out with the Seed Bomb, but Jellicent, with all the stored energy we had on it before, will be able to reach the Shadow Ball and take out the Gourgeist. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Malamar. Little bit of a core breaker for the team, but it's not that bad since Jellicent is tanky. We're going to load up on energy and fire off of the Surf. We will let the first foul play go, and we are not in farm down range. Fortunately, because the Malamar is regular and not Shadow, but Shadow Ball does still threaten. So my opponent gives up a shield, and they make a very nice catch to the next Surf onto their Shadow Victory Bell. But unfortunately for the Shadow Victory Bell, that's just wall rain food. We get a farm down before they even reach a move. Malamar comes back in, and wall rain with all this energy, I'm not going to let it go to waste. I'm going to give up my first shield, load up on energy, fire off this Icicle Spear. This will do some very nice damage to the Malamar. My opponent gives up their final shield, and then we outpace to the next Icicle Spear. So wall rain, putting in tons of work there, get a Powder Snow in. I try and catch a foul play onto my Jellicent, but it ends up backfiring and giving and wheezing the perfect farm down of my Jellicent. Fortunately, it doesn't hit the hardest, and I do have a tank in Licky to soak all this energy on. So we're going to let both Sludge Bombs go for a little bit of Body Slam here. Again, I wasn't sure if a Shadow Ball would KO, but I knew that a Body Slam plus a Shadow Ball would KO. And I was also trying to test to see if 2 Body Slams would KO, seeing that they wouldn't. That's why I go for the Body Slam Shadow Ball, get a Powder Snow through, shield the foul play, and then we'll be able to farm down the Malamar from there. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Shadow Toucannon as the low battery notification pops up while we switch into that Licky. Gonna fire off the Body Slam after 4 rollouts. This is proper timing considering the 1 turn it takes to swap. In comes Toucannon. This is enough for Beak Blast. I do respect it because that would do massive damage. Honestly, that might have just one-shot my Licky. I genuinely don't know. Never had a Beak Blast land on it, but from a Shadow Toucannon, man, that would have done a lot. In comes Gastrodon. We land a Shadow Ball, store another Shadow Ball, and then pivot into Jellicent, knowing that Jellicent is an absolute wall to Gastrodon's moveset. That is unless they're running Earth Power, but basically every single Gastrodon nowadays is running that Body Slam Water Pulse moveset. Surf does land, that is enough to take him out. In comes Toucannon, where we can land this Surf. Surf will take out the Toucannon unless they get their final shield. And since they do, we can combo play with this Body Slam. Some nice damage, doesn't quite take it out, but the ensuing rollout may, as we will land the Shadow Ball into a Bastiodon, and that's a little unfortunate because, as we know, Wall Rain does take super effective damage from those smackdowns being an Ice type, and with the Icicle Spears and Powder Snows being resisted, we're gonna have to build up all the way to that Earthquake, and we're gonna have to watch for a Toucannon catch. So we load up, watch for the catch. They do not get it. And with that, we can just undertap the Earthquake. And realistically, as a 2-turn fast move user against a 3-turn fast move user, they should never catch, since you will be throwing on good timing in most situations. So we do take out the Basti there. GG's. Next battle, Greninja. Terrible lead for the Jellicent. Gonna pivot into that Licky. And we're kind of in a little bit of a rough spot because they can get a free Hydro Cannon off and then dip. They come in with a Furret, and the situation's kind of going from bad to worse here because I can't come in Jellicent in this later matchup, and you know, you kind of want to sack it because it has nowhere to go against the Greninja. So Jellicent just in a bad way in this matchup, where I'm gonna have to come in with Wall Rain here and go for a very aggressive Powder Snow down and hope that all this energy will be able to go a long way for me. So we do get the Powder Snow down. They come in with a Talonflame. So this matchup isn't done yet. It is actually quite doable as 1 Icicle Spear does land. And here the second one will land. I'm hoping my opponent will give up a shield, but they're smarter than that. They recognize that Greninja is their win condition. So we land 1 Icicle Spear, and I'm thinking that if I can catch the next Night Slash onto my Jellicent, I have a win condition because the Water Shurikens plus Night Slashes don't 2-shot it. And seeing that they don't 2-shot it, I'm like, okay, maybe I can reach 2 Surfs. but while they don't two-shot it, they do just a little too much. As you'll see here, Jellicent faints with the Surf, and from that, just nothing I can do. My opponent has the energy for the back-to-back Night Slashes and a little bit of a unnecessary parting boost for the road, as Night Slash does take out Walrein. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Altaria. Now this is a slightly positive matchup for the Jellicent just because we do outpace the 2 Shadow Balls, and 2 Shadow Balls do KO the Altaria. However, we have 2 better answers to the Altaria in the back, so we're going to safe swap into that Licky to bait out a potential fighter. And we don't bait out a fighter, but we bait out Empoleon, which is fantastic because that's exactly what we want the Licky to do. Shadow Ball does land, which freely allows us to go for a Body Slam. And with this shield advantage now, we're in a great spot because I can under tap, get to this Body Slam, of which now my opponent, if they want alignment, they're gonna have to give up that their final shield, where Walrein could potentially just sweep. And if they don't want alignment, well, that's my Walrein on their Altaria. So we're in a fantastic spot. They come in and they stay in enough, taking massive Powder Snow damage just to land a Sky Attack, but Walrein shrugs that off perfectly fine, would get a fantastic farm down on the Altaria, so they swap into their Corsola last minute, and this is going to be a GG's. Because I can land 1 Icicle Spear, get the shield with the second one, and if they don't shield it, well, I can just hex them down with the Jellicent and go about the game from there. So see, they reach Nightshade. They're not going to reach a second one, so we can just farm down the Altaria with what's left of it. My opponent realizes that, and they do concede. GG's. Jellicent and Licky core showing exactly what it's capable of in these battles. Like I said, you can throw on whatever closer you want as long as it has the proper coverage. So in that sense, with the closer, along with the rock, normal, water, and ghost coverage you already have, the team allows for a good amount of flexibility with how you want to play it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Love to hear what you have to say. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.